Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 193. All right, the title of today's lesson is Do Not Use the Article The in the General Sense. All right, just to remind everybody, when we talk about articles, there's only three articles in English. It's and the. In today's lesson, we're talking about the. Okay, and if we say general sense, just to make sure everybody's clear about this, general sense is when you talk about something in general. You're not talking about some specific thing or some particular thing in a situation. You're talking about it in general. Okay, and of course, this art. When we cover um, the article the, there's a lot of rules in English about the article the, and there's a lot of rules when to use it and when not to use it. And as a teacher, probably when students do writing, this is one of the most common ones where they should not be using the article the, and they sometimes do use it. So this is why this is the first lesson I've chose about when to use the article the and when not to. So let's look at the note. Do not use the article the with an uncountable noun when used in the general sense. All right, so uncountable nouns are never used in the singular anyway, so you don't have to worry about that part. So basically, uncountable nouns, general sense, don't use the word the. Omit it. Omit, remember, O-M-I-T, means, take it away. And the second rule here, do not use the article the with countable nouns when used, with countable nouns in the plural. I'm sorry, with countable nouns in the plural in the general sense. So if it's in the plural in the general sense, you should take away the the. If it's in the singular, by definition, it becomes more specific again because you're talking about a particular one. So let's review the examples to make this clearer. Let's look at the first example. Money is hard to come by. Yeah, actually, money in the English language is an uncountable noun. I always thought that was very ironic in a way because if there's anything that's counted more in real life, it probably is money. But technically, as far as the language is concerned, we don't count money. We count currency. We count dollars. We count bills. We count coins. Those are all countable nouns. But money is actually an uncountable noun. So if we say money is hard to come by, all right, meaning, it's not easy to get money. That's the meaning of that phrase. But this is definitely in the general sense. We're not talking about any particular money. We're not talking about specific money or money that somebody owns. We're talking about money in general. So in this sense, you see, we don't use the article the. It's omitted. Let's look at the second one because both of these are actually common phrases about money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Again, it's the general sense. We're not talking about specific money. We're not talking about a particular person's money. So we don't use the article the here. Okay. Let's look at it where we do use it, if it's not used in the general sense. So here we can say the money you lost was going to be used for our trip. Well, this is very specific money. This is what a lot of times when you can ask the question, what money, and answer it, then we know it's specific money. What money? The money you lost. That money. That's very particular money. That's specific money. That's not the general sense. So we do use the article the in that sense with that uncountable noun money. The money, that particular money. Second example here, the money in my bank account is not enough. So here, if you're saying the money in your bank, well, it's particular money. It's specific money. What money? The money in your bank account. Water is another uncountable noun. We can count drops, we can count ounces, but we cannot count water itself. So here, if we say water is necessary for our survival, we're talking about water in general. We're not talking about some particular water. We're not talking about a water in a bottle or water in somebody's sink or water in the bathtub. We are talking about water in general, so we don't say the water here, we just say water. All right, the next example here with the, where we do use the water in that lake is polluted. All right, it's very specific. What water? The water in the lake. So it's particular water we could talk about, therefore we use the article the. All right, let's look at countable nouns. To be honest, there are actually a lot more countable nouns than uncountable nouns. So let's look at it. First one, dogs. A lot of animals are countable. Dogs are countable. We say 2 dogs, 3 dogs. But here, if we use the phrase, dogs make good pets. All right, again, general sense. You're not talking about any particular dogs. You're not talking about, somebody's pet or some dogs that's in a specific place. We are just talking about dogs in general. So dogs make good pets. You see, we don't use the article the here because it's the general sense, and dogs is in the plural. But however, if it's in the singular, like the second example here, the dog in that cage looks unhappy. Well, this is specific. This is a particular dog. What dog? The dog in the cage. So he's a particular dog. It's a specific dog. So in that case, you do use the article the. Okay, I hope it's clear. So just remember very quickly, do not use the article the with uncountable nouns in the general sense. So the key part is general sense. Do not use the article the with plural countable nouns in the general sense. Okay, I hope it's clear. I hope you got it. I hope it was informative. Thank you for your time.